Hey, what's going on, ATB, or anyone else out there listening? This is ATB Hammered, and I'm your host, Michael Bird. Today, joining us on the Hammered Hotline, we're going to have Dr. Arthur Apolinario. Dr. Art, he is a hypnotherapist, but he knows a lot about this coronavirus. He's going to share his thoughts, his recommendations on how to stay safe out there, some precautions you need to take. I know this is something going on that's affecting everyone in the country right now, not just us here in central North Carolina. But hey, you know what? Let's do our best. Let's keep our social distancing. And hey, you know what? There's a brighter future, I'm sure, coming. So without further ado, put on your seatbelts. It's time to get hammered. All right, hey, tonight, joining us on this episode of Hammered, we have Brandon Cutthroat back in studio. What's going on, man?
Hey, not much.
And also our guest tonight, with all this coronavirus shit going on, I was like, hey, you know what? There's no one better than we want on this show than a doctor to discuss this. So I've got Dr. Arthur Apolinario on the Hammered Hotline. What's going on, Doc?
Not much. Just trying to survive right now. You know, interestingly enough, if you called me Mr. in England, if you're first a Mr., then you become a doctor, and when you become a top-line doctor, you become Mr. again. So that's actually an honor that you called me Mr.
What? How do you determine the difference between the misters?
Yeah, I'm lost.
Well, when you become one of the top doctors in England, you become a Mr. again.
Okay, so you go from Mr. then to doctor, then Mr. again.
Right.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So it's kind of weird. Here, you want to stay being a doctor, but there, it's an honor to get your Mr. name back.
So what's a bigger honor if you become a knight? What if you're a knight and a doctor at the same time, Sir Mister?
I guess then you become king.
Yeah, you become the king.
Become a king. Holy shit. Well, I mean,
Well, by then you're 80.
well, I swear, I guess England isn't a safe place to be right now either. I think they're talking about shutting their borders down because of this coronavirus. I don't think anywhere on the planet's safe right now unless you're in Antarctica, huh?
Or West Virginia.
Ooh.
Yeah, West Virginia, nice and spread out. They're doing okay.
Oh, why? Why is West Virginia doing okay? Here's where the conspiracy theorists come in.
Yeah.
The estimate is because they're wide open spaces. There are no big major city centers. If you've ever driven through West Virginia, their biggest city is super small. It's like a small town almost.
Is it Morganton?
So there aren't very
Morgantown?
many concentrated places for population to gather.
Well, they have a place called Charleston, West Virginia. They got a place that's got some amazing wings. Oh, yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
Probably still like 5 people
I've
there.
not been there yet.
I'm sure it's closed now.
Yeah. The only town in West Virginia I know is Morgantown. But that's where the University of West Virginia is.
All right. Today is, I don't know, probably day 8. Are we in a week into this already since, the government has clamped down and made restrictions, and since everybody's gotten scared, have we been a week yet?
I believe so. Ever since the first restrictions started popping up and the meetings started showing up on TV with the president and everything.
So today, the governor of North Carolina passed an executive order where restaurants have to close at 5 and they can only do carry out now. Schools are closed until further notice.
Bars are closed.
Bars are closed. Movie theaters are closed. Like, this is crazy. You actually feel like this is a movie. And by the way, don't watch Contagion, because Contagion is going to fuck you up, because everything that's happening in that movie we are doing right now in real life, except for Contagion is about a virus that kills in 2 days.
Jesus.
So... kills everybody.
Oh my God.
Kills everybody. So I mean, like, the COVID-19 is not that bad. It's not that bad. Dr. Art, question: do we really have a lot to worry about with this virus? Like, are we listening to the media too much? What's your opinion on COVID-19?
Well, so the answer is yes and no. The only way to prevent really bad outcomes and taxing on the medical care system and not having enough ventilators for people who need it, the only way is for everybody to stay away from each other. That's the only way, because the more people that get exposed to it, the more other people get exposed, the higher risk of exposing the most vulnerable people. And yeah, younger people, they say younger than 49 are going to do okay. But if you look at the numbers, they're still at 0.3%, 0.2%, 0.1%, depending on what country you go to, where the younger people still die. So you may not have any major problems except for cough, cold, that type of thing. But the people around you, it can go anywhere from like 100,000 people in the United States to a worst case scenario of 1.7 million people dying. And that's from the latest estimates from worst case scenario from the CDC. So it get 1.7 million people from 370 million United States. It's like you're around your neighbors losing 1 out of every 30. And I think that's what the estimate is, 1 or 3, out of 30 households. So that's a pretty big deal. And it might be your neighbor, it could be your grandmother, your grandchild if they have asthma or autism, or just they can't clear their secretions very well. So it's pretty serious, because I hate to say it, based on the statistics, we're probably going to lose some people in ATB.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean, I can't argue with it. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like I know everything about COVID-19, and I hope that doesn't happen. I mean, there's 3,100 people just in the singles group, not to mention like the meetup group and all of that. But we're at the beginning of this, and we've still got months to go, according to the administration. And they're thinking July, August is when we might be out of this.
That's what they're thinking. But this is long term, because this is going to come back, because we're not going to have a vaccine for a while. So there's going to be a second wave next year. According to the prediction model. So this first wave is going to be the beginning wave where we get used to it and all. And some of us get immunity. But everyone we predicted, if we don't have a vaccine, the second wave is going to hit it.
I believe they said in that press conference I heard the president yesterday that they are making a vaccine right now that I guess, what did they say, in May, April, or late April or May it would be ready or something like that?
Correct.
Yeah. So here's what I got out of the president's press conference the other day. I can't remember the doctor's name that got up there, but she said that the super carriers were more than likely to be millennials, people in that age range. They can walk around with it and not know they have it. And like she said, and I quote, be super carriers, giving it to all these other people that fall in that age range of people that are susceptible to dying. The senior citizens that are above 60, 70, and 80 years old. Because the percentages of dying, of mortality rates are higher. Is that correct for that age range?
Very much so. Once you hit about 55 and up, that's where the biggest risk is.
Yeah, people that have that are susceptible, that have weak immune systems, or any kind of have been sick in the past with their respiratory system or anything like that, they're more susceptible to this. So,
right.
Yeah.
But one of the things that that's emerging, is just overall health. So if you're obese, you have a higher risk because you have more weight that your lungs have to pump to. And then the one thing that's emerging now is smokers. Smokers have the biggest risk of mortality, and that's what they're finding out, because you already have limited lung capacity if you've smoked for a while. So adding the coronavirus and scarring up your lungs reduces your lung capacity drastically. So the way they extracted this was men in China that were older than 65 that smoked had the highest mortality rate, and women had a very low mortality rate because most women in China don't smoke.
So what exactly does the COVID-19 do? Now, obviously most people know that, you have like itchy throat and cough, but like in a science and like chemical and like anatomy wise, what exactly does it do to the bodies? I'm assuming it would like attack the white blood cells and red blood cells and stuff like that.
Well, that's the part we don't really know. We're kind of guessing that it acts like the flu virus and the SARS virus of the past, the previous coronavirus. Cold virus gets in the tissues, then makes you start getting a little bit inflamed, mucus draining out. But the one thing that's unique about this is how much scarring people find in their lungs, because that's almost unprecedented. How pulmonary fibrosis can occur that rapidly in some people. They're finding that even people that recover have lost 20 to 30% of their lung function sometimes.
Jesus.
And it looks like that might be a long-term problem for these people for the rest of their lives, because that scarring doesn't reverse itself. We don't know yet because it's so new, but it looks, the way that it looks like ground glass appearance on CAT scans, that's usually something reserved for some certain types of cancers. Well, they're finding that in a lot of the coronavirus people. So the worst mechanism, the worst thing that happens to the body is the scarring in the lungs to the people who have the worst outcomes.
And that is a thing about COVID-19. Yes, there are several strands of coronaviruses, but this strand right here, the COVID-19, is so new, we don't know anything about it. It's less than 6 months old, right? I mean, the first cases in China were back in November, December. I mean...
and that's the other thing. The coronaviruses have been around for a while, and like I said, they usually act like coughs and colds, and you don't notice a thing. You just sneeze and all that. But once SARS came out, sudden acute respiratory, I think it was sudden. I can't even remember the acronym anymore. But you suddenly get respiratory disease, and this one acts just like it. But the scarring is the thing that's really different about it.
So I'll tell you what the biggest problem is going to be here soon is when pollen starts falling. Because, I mean, think about it. When you have allergies, it seems like the symptoms are almost identical.
Look, man, don't even go outside and cough because people got their rifles on you. They're like, this motherfucker just coughed. I'm putting a bullet in him. He's done. I mean, you can't. I mean, this couldn't happen at the worst time, Art, because you, like Brandon was saying, it's spring's coming. The trees are blooming. Pollen is flying all over the place. People they're reacting to their allergies, and now everybody automatically thinks when you cough or you sniffle, you have, COVID-19.
Yeah,
it's kind of bad.
And so sneezing is not part of this virus. So most of the time, it's not. I'd say. Very few people have ever mentioned that symptom. But dry cough is. But if you're coughing a bunch of mucus up at the beginning, it's very low on the totem pole as being coronavirus too. But yeah, I've heard stories of people coughing at Costco and 20 eyes look at them like they're about to murder them. So it's a very dangerous time to have allergies.
Yeah.
All right, so Art, with everything you see on the media and everything you see on Facebook, a lot of people are just posting stuff, and it seems like they're not educating themselves on the topic. They're just causing a lot of panic, talking about martial law, and just putting everybody in like this state of mind where like, oh my God, this is it. And I get it. So what kind of advice do you have for people listening to this that have this panic about them and they're unsure and uncertain what's going on?
Well, the first thing to do is watch out for the words coming from the media. And the worst words, I'm a hypnotherapist too. The worst word they use is the word don't. So one of the most basic ways to hypnotize somebody is to say don't. And then after that, say what you want. And to you guys, don't focus on your breathing. What's the first thing that happens?
You focus on your breathing.
Yeah.
And you start counting your breaths, and you're like, am I breathing right? And then your diaphragm shuts down. So you start focusing on your breathing. It happens every time. You got two kids in the back of your car fighting, and you say, don't fight with each other. What's the next thing that happens? They fight even more.
Yeah.
So if you tell your kid in the back of the car, I hate it when you guys are nice to each other. Don't hug each other and don't be quiet. They go, look, Mommy, I'm being nice to my brother. And they stop fighting because you told them not to do it. It becomes a challenge to the brain. So the worst thing that they keep saying is don't panic. the subconscious never hears the word don't. So guess what people do? They buy toilet paper. And they panic. How happy are people going to be with their pile of toilet paper over the next month?
I'm going to be pretty damn happy.
Oh my God. That's the one thing that I completely do not understand out of all the things. I mean, I get the sanitizer, the Lysol, the cleaning products, whatever, but toilet paper? Like, what the hey?
I think I understand they are thinking about long term. What if, I don't know, man. Art, a roll of toilet paper lasts me about a month and a half. Okay, maybe even longer. So when you multiply that by a 24-pack, bro, that's a whole year's of toilet paper. Why do you need to go and buy freaking 7 packs of toilet paper?
It's got to be the women, dude. When they go through their little situation.
That is true. That's a fucking fact.
And I've only met women, and I've had these conversations, who use an enormous amount of toilet. I mean, a lot. Like when you would use 4 or 5, to clean your business, they roll it around their hand 10 times.
Oh, that's called a toilet paper knife.
Yeah.
They make a toilet paper knife with their hand.
What?
A toilet paper knife.
God.
They put so much toilet paper. Why? How do you even do that? They make a glove. It's like a knife, like a glove, and then. Yes, I did just do an example of how it works in studio.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, we got off topic talking about toilet paper. It tends to happen in the ATB studios.
It's got to be talked about.
Yeah. But go ahead. I know we threw you off.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
But my explanation for that is 2 things: mass hysteria, fear of missing out. The fear of missing out thing is, have you ever seen those Japanese videos where a whole group of people will be walking and then everybody ducks all of a sudden and one person's not involved and they look up and they duck, just acting like everybody else?
Oh, yeah.
That mass movement. We have the same wiring as pigeons that fly together. When everybody does something, we're like, oh my goodness, if I don't buy it, you're like, who's missing out? Who won't have it if we're stuck in our homes? And you lose your ability to think critically when that happens, when you see the whole crowd doing something. It's one of our protective mechanisms. It's part of the fight or flight response. Everybody suddenly has fight or flight. You better have it or you're going to die, so you join in. So everybody has this massive fight or flight response, but for some reason, one Costco disappears all its toilet paper, people see it on TV, all of a sudden you have people fighting over it and having more chances of dying from a fight than the coronavirus. So the first thing is to watch out how you're being put in flight. And it is what TV's telling you, having watched the Contagion movie, there are lots of things that can trigger these automatic responses. And the biggest one is when you see everybody else doing it. But the thing is, everybody else is acting like a robot. You don't want to be a robot, you want to be sane. So the first thing you need to do is calm down and take a deep breath. One of the most important things I learned in survival training, and I've done survival training in the most extreme conditions, in the Arizona desert for 4 days, and I did urban training where I actually lived as a homeless person for 4 days just to learn how to survive in the city.
Okay.
Under those circumstances, all our instructors taught us is the most important thing is to have is PMA, positive mental attitude, and that includes calming yourself down, avoiding panic, knowing that in this world you're a human being and you can survive anything, no matter what's thrown at you. One example of that is one of the stories they give us is I think she was 80 years old. This woman had just gone Christmas shopping and had spun out and driven off a bridge. And her car landed in a tree and was hanging off that tree. So this 80-year-old woman was found maybe 6 or 7 days later, and she was alive and smiling. And she'd been hanging off that tree, just hanging with her seatbelt at the edge of death. And the way she survived was the rain would fall off the tree and she would drink the rain from the leaves that she would pick off the car. And when they found her, she was perfectly fine.
Wow.
In other scenarios, there's 24-year-olds that'll be ending up in the desert. All they have to do is walk in a mile, but because their mental attitude is they're going to die, they die within hours. And these are some of the military tests that have been out there. So this woman, the reason why she had that leaf and she drank from it and still had a smile on her face was she said she needed those Christmas presents to get to her grandkids or she would be pissed off. So positive mental attitude, having something to live for, is the most important thing. People who have that can think sanely and get themselves through any situation and not follow the robot crowd of buying toilet paper. They'll go to the supermarket and buy the things that make them happy. Such as if you love beef jerky, you buy beef jerky. If you love cake, you'll buy cake. You'll have enough to make you happy, but you don't hoard it. You get enough for yourself for 2 to 4 weeks, and you leave some for everybody else. You start thinking sanely, and then you start thinking compassionately about the people around you instead of fighting over one roll of toilet paper. So the bottom line is, number one, calm yourself down, and then think positively about how you're going to make it through no matter what. The mental attitude is everything when it comes to this. So I go to work. I'm frontline. I've done 5 coronavirus tests on people. I am standing right in front of them, them coughing, me wearing positive protection gear, and I'm standing there smiling and joking around with them while I'm sticking a thing in their nose and exposing myself possibly to this coronavirus. I positively know I've lived a good life. I know my kids are fine. And if I survive, I'm going to party like it's 1920 again, because they were partying after the 1918 Spanish flu. Same exact situation. So you got to have that positive mental attitude first, and that calms you down so you don't freak out and start doing these robot actions that everybody who's in fight or flight are doing. So that's number one.
I think you're absolutely right. A lot of these people, they just believe everything they hear on TV now. Like, the country is driven by TV. I don't know what the percentage is, but I got to think it's over 60%. 60% of the country is driven by what they see in the media, movies, etc. You know what's crazy is, like he said, people are robots that kind of do what they see and kind of catch on to trends. Like, what if that one Costco that was empty on toilet paper at the exact time was like the same day the stock dude decided to call in sick? So then he didn't stock no toilet paper, so it was empty. So the news rolls in, shows the shelf, like, oh, as you can see here, Costco's out of toilet papers, and all of a sudden, everyone's buying toilet paper because the stock dude. I mean, it could be something as silly as that. I will tell you, man, if you had stock in Procter & Gamble, good Lord, you're looking good right now. I mean, the stock market, that's all these fucking guys at my job watch, is this goddamn TV that's turned on to the stock market all day long. Everybody wants to know about their stocks. I could give less than a shit. I'd rather watch ESPN and watch all the 30s for 30s they're showing now because there's no sports. But the only green is in Procter & Gamble, and that's all I can remember. Everything else is red. Everything else is plummeting.
Bye.
Mm-hmm. Bye. Bye.
Not that bye.
Oh yeah. So, all right, Art. I'm gonna pull up. There was another member. You know John Miles, right? You probably met him. He posted something in socials I'm going to pull up, and it was a pretty good post. I'm not going to play this in the podcast, but John's a pretty good guy. He's pretty smart, and he wrote something. Let me pull it up. With the preponderance of information about self-isolating and the potential of the virus, the next logical step has not been made unmistakably clear. Most of us have prepared to stay at home. We have provisioned, i.e. more than groceries, to take care of ourselves fairly well. Without contributing to the panic, but to more detailed preparation, we should all realize that the lowering of the curve in which we are participating will slow the progression of the disease. It will not massively decrease the overall number of infections. So what has been implicit is that we need to also provision for being ill. This means having ready-made food available to easily prepare and eat comfortably when ill. Soups can be frozen or bought in cans. That's just one way. There are many. Use your imaginations. There are a lot of ways to be ready, but do it ahead of time. It is important that we not panic, but keep up to date with how this progresses and prepare our own homes, families, and actions accordingly. I think that's a pretty good statement that John made. Like you were saying, just with the stats, some AT members may get sick enough to pass away from this. I'm pretty sure other ATB members will catch this. So once they get sick, what is a provision they can do other than what John said in his post as far as preparation?
Oh, he was absolutely right. So you want so this is a symptomatic care illness. So just like a cough or cold, you'll want what you usually need for that. So if I were a fighting person at Costco, I'd be buying Puffs Plus with lotion so my nose didn't turn red. Toilet paper makes your nose turn red, so I would have some of that. Anything that is your comfort during an illness, so Tylenol and ibuprofen for fevers, cough or cold medicines, your favorites, the ones that would help you go to sleep, the ones that don't. If you have allergies, you better have allergy medicines or you'll be suffering through the pollen season. Maybe a sinus rinser, like a Neomed sinus rinser or an Edipot to help you get that snot out of your nose and to prevent you from getting a sinus infection. So those are the main things you'll want. And then, of course, if you have kids, the things for your kids. Whatever works for them, Zarbee's, cough syrup, or anything that they like or that you know that they'll swallow down that they don't hate and spit up. On top of that, your comfort foods, like he said. So if you love soup, great. But if you know that you need a certain type of ramen for your illness, then get that. I know I love pho. In fact, in some of my dates, I've taken the women to Vietnamese pho. So I have these little bouillon cubes that you can put with chicken, and it'll make pho, and I have the noodles for it, because that stuff is magical as far as cleaning your sinuses out.
Well, let me tell you something, Art.
Hopefully there's a takeout.
Let me tell you something. Ramen is sold out. The shelves are blown away.
Oh,
I went to Food Line, and every ramen noodle is gone.
Really?
Yes. Ramen noodles, pasta, spaghetti sauce, canned food, soups. My God, it's crazy, man. It is crazy.
Well, I have a secret for you. ANC Supermarket in Garner is a Chinese supermarket. Nobody's ransacking that place, and it's perfectly safe to buy ramen there.
Hey.
Ooh, it's not a secret anymore. Right now, people are jumping off their couch. They are getting in the car, and they are heading to that place if they're living in Garner.
Going to Chinatown. I actually ate Chinese yesterday, and I was like, you know what? No one's going to be in there for sure. So I'm going straight in. And I might be dying because I swear I heard somebody coughing in the back. It's like, no.
As they were slicing that bat up.
Probably.
Oh my God, that was horrible. I'm leaving it in though. Fuck it. They say this. They said COVID-19. I don't know, Art. What's your theory on how this originated? Because I know what I've read. I've read it started in oh my God, what was it? Hunan, China, I believe.
Small town China.
Or what? Yeah, by someone eating bat soup, and I mean that sounds kind of far fetched. But hey, if you watched,
there's two theories. There's two theories. One is that it jumped from a bat to a human, and it's very right now the current criteria for getting a rabies shot is if a bat's just flying in a room. If a bat's flying in your room, you actually qualify for getting rabies shots. So it doesn't even have to bite you or touch you or anything. It can throw it into the air. So it might have jumped from a bat just flying around that place rather than somebody eating the bat soup, even though they were. It actually, a researcher who was looking at bats and had found it in November and had found that it had jumped the human somehow. So as far as the, it being man-made and all that stuff, that doesn't look like that's panning out in the true science. But it did transform in bats and then jump from a bat to a human as far as what the current science is saying. Whether somebody ate it and got it, that might be possible, but it really does look like it was just a transmission, maybe even through the air.
So what freaks me out about all this is that's the premise for the movie Contagion. My God, have you seen it? Have you seen Contagion, Brandon? Nah. You've seen it, Art?
I try to avoid movies like that because I can't live it. So.
Well, I watched that shit last night, or was it the night before? I watched it Sunday night. So at the end of the movie, after everybody's dead, All right.
Oh,
Well,
thanks
no.
for ruining the
Well,
ending.
no. They found a cure and they cured everybody after all the bullshit happened. But they showed day 1, so it went like from day 2 all up to like day 120. But at the end of the movie, before the credits rolled, they showed day 1, how it all went down, and it was a bat took a banana and was eating the banana, was hanging upside down and dropped a piece of the banana inside a pig pen where a little piglet ate the banana, but then was picked up by some buyers at a restaurant, slaughtered, and then cut up for food. And evidently, this virus incubated inside that pig because of the bat, the banana, and killed people in 2 days. It was crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, you don't want to watch that right now. So stay away from contagion.
Die of starvation. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So, all right. What else are we missing here, Art? Anything else we can touch bases on before we delve off into other realms?
As far as positive mental attitude and all that, if you're gonna put yourself in your house, quarantine yourself, or socially isolate and all that, number one, you gotta have outlets. You gotta have. I mean, it's great that we have the internet because we can be social, but I think the smartest thing you did was you made most of ATB coronavirus free so that people can have safe spaces where they don't need to look at that and they can look at their memes and have a good time and still be singles. That whole, video thing that you put together, the VVS day, that's a great way where people are missing out on their socializing. Having that where people are like, oh, that's like meeting somebody at a bar and they're introducing themselves. Like, we're not missing out on that interaction. So anything that you can create a coronavirus-free space. I mean, you even see people going, oh my goodness, stop. I can't. Can you just give me the 6th picture in your phone? And then, unfortunately, some people have pictures of people fighting over toilet paper in their phone, too. But the bottom line is, you need those safe spaces. You got to make a safe haven in your house. You got to have safe time where you off the TV, you turn off the internet, and you learn to quiet your brain because, social isolation is one of the best times to learn how to meditate and quiet your brain. It only takes 60 seconds a day to get your fight or flight response to turn off. So deep breathing for 1 minute alone will get your immune system so you can fight this virus. Because all this fight or flight, all this panic, never having time off from listening about coronavirus will create an immune system that's not going to be as resilient. So the more you relax, the more you take deep breaths, the more you make your spaces, looking at the ATBs without coronavirus, and then coming back for your information if you need it, that's going to keep your immune system working much better because you're going to be that much more calm.
Yeah. And now with this, we've got a new term, social distancing. That's going to be something new that a word we're going to be using now for the next year, 6 months to a year. That's going to be tough for a lot of people to do because there's a lot of extroverts out there. I know it kills me being stuck in the house. Thank God I got this podcast I can at least waste some time doing. How did you plan on going out and doing anything, Art? Well, you really can't because everything is shut down now.
Right, and that's a good thing. I mean, the more you can really encourage and really drive the point in that people really need to stay away from each other at least 10 feet, the better. Martial law, if we get into a bad situation, that may happen. But as far as, the whole social aspect of it, I hate that it's just another way that I'm going to get rejected for a date. I'm social distancing. I might have coronavirus. I won't date you. When we're all done with this thing. So I'm kind of upset about that. But, I am social distancing. In fact, because I'm in healthcare, I've actually, for the first time ever, if you know my story, this was a really hard decision. But my kids are social distance from me. My ex-wife lives about a mile away from me. I told them they can't come around me within 10 feet because I'm constantly being exposed to this, and I don't want them to get it and become super spreaders. So I've made the tough decision that my kids aren't coming around me closer than 10 feet for the next month and a half. And that really kills because my daughter's back from college. I haven't seen her in a while. I wasn't supposed to see her till May, and she came over to my house yesterday and played with the dog, but we couldn't give each other a hug or a kiss since she's been back from college because I'm getting exposed. So I'm not letting them into my house. I'm not letting them interact with me physically. They're not coming with me. And, we're going to get used to it and we're going to get through it. And then when this is all over, we're back to it. But I am socially isolating myself or distancing myself to an extreme degree because I'm getting exposed to it every day.
And it may not be you. I mean, what if your daughter's been exposed? You don't need her giving you that to take back to your job to spread to all these other people.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it too, because my kids are young. They would be the millennial super spreaders if they ever got it. She might actually have it now. He might. We both.
One. Okay.
So my kids are 18 and 17 and millennials, and they're quite healthy, but they could have it already, and they could be super spreaders, and I can't risk my patients getting it from me through my kids. So that's one other reason I'm socially isolating. And I've also made it a strict policy that my patients with diabetes, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, seizures, etc., the sickest patients, they're not coming to my office for any general visits anymore. I'm taking care of them by phone because I do not want them coming anywhere near the public and getting exposed. I want them to socially distance themselves because they're the most vulnerable. In fact, the nursing homes in my town, nobody's allowed to get in, not even family members, only essential personnel to protect them.
Oh. Yeah, it makes sense. My dad's in a retirement home, and I can't go see him either, so.
Well, the scariest part about the whole thing is...
Does he have a window?
Don't think so. Yeah.
Wait, what does that matter?
Yeah. Is that like ventilation or something? Or?
When I go to the rest home, people are seeing each other talking through the cell phone and talking through a window.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I would say
Prison.
it's like a prison.
Yeah, basically
really
a prison that smells like piss.
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I think like the worst part is, I mean, is it correct that you don't really see symptoms between 4 or 5 days?
Currently, the average is the symptoms start 5 days after you start incubating it and possibly spreading it.
Yeah. So imagine what you're doing for
days, you can actually carry it.
Like imagine what you're doing for 4 to 5 days, thinking you're free and gold. Like, obviously everything's shut down, so what we're doing is, your normal routine, but
yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, if you count 1 week of what you would do, you'd be at several ATB events. I would go to hockey games, expose all those people. What else? Restaurants, work. Just think of all the things you do in 1 week and imagine that you are one of those super spreaders and walking around town. Like recently, I was at that Lego Brick Universe convention, and one of the guys who went to the session after me tested positive and actually had symptoms when he was there. Thought he had a cold. And so was actually there with symptoms. So that was kind of scary, but luckily I didn't go. I was at the session before his, so I didn't get exposed. At least I don't know if I did.
There was a member that thought he was exposed, that thought he had COVID-19 that was at the ATB Idol Week 3. I know he contacted me. He said he had a 103 temperature and had all flu-like symptoms. He did get tested and he was negative, so that's good news for everyone that was at Wowing Cafe that night. So hey, there's a little positivity out there. So hey, COVID-19, coronavirus, it's going to be with us for a while, people. We might as well just get used to it, get used to this lifestyle that we got right now. Things are going to change, life's not going to be the same for a while. It's just a harsh realization that we all have to deal with. And us at ATB, we're going to try to make the group adjust and evolve to this. But you have to bear with us and, work with us also as we change. Art, let's get off of COVID for a while. I think we've beat it to death. I want to talk to you about your...
Let me say
sorry.
one thing about it.
Okay.
kudos to you for making all the right decisions, for shutting down events, for making the safe spaces. You're doing you're being a leader, and that's exactly what people need right now is leaders that say, look, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you're doing the right things, and that's what makes this group great. But the most important thing about this thing is the one thing that makes this group great is the love, the friendships, and we need to keep that together because some people get mad because somebody went out or somebody went to a bar, and to just put that in the past and just say, look, we're a great group of people, we've always been there for each other. The more you spread love and the less you spread anger and panic and he got toilet paper and I didn't, the more places you have where people spread love, the more you have a positive mental attitude. So kudos to you for making that happen.
I appreciate that, Art. But of course, it's a group effort with everybody in the group, especially the moderators. That being,
to them too, then.
Yep. Mass love.
Yeah.
Give me all the love. All right. So
Just keep the love going because that's what cures this.
that's right, man. That's what makes the world go round. And love, that's what gets you divorced. No, that's lust. Lust gets you divorced. After a year and a half of some good lust.
Love gets you divorced. Yeah. Okay.
You think you're in love, but it's actually... Oh, here's a good one.
When we're done with this.
Here's a good one, Art. So everybody's saying in 9 months you're going to see all this new baby boom. The coronavirus baby boom is going to be happening because all these people are working from home and wives are staying home, husbands are staying home. They got all this extra time. They're going to be doing some wild thing on the clock.
I didn't see anybody with big carts full of condoms.
Ain't nobody.
I mean, if you already have kids and you're staying home with them nonstop, honestly, that'd be the last thing you're thinking. You'd be like, I do not want no more.
That is true. I didn't think about that because school's out.
Yeah.
So you got the kids home with you. You might see a lot of suicides.
Yeah.
A lot of parental
Child
suicides.
Protective Services rates are going up.
Oh my God.
They're like, we're trading our kid in.
Damn. Yeah. Who in the world would find time to like get the nasty on when you got all your kids at home from school and your husband's probably... No, I'd take that back. I'll probably edit this part because we all know the women drive the men crazy. That's the truth here.
Yeah.
The women drive the men crazy.
We're simple.
That's a fact because I said it and it's on Facebook. So, Art, when can we get you in studio? Because you touched on earlier, and I've seen you do this. You're a hypnotherapist. And Brandon, we were talking about this the other night. Brandon says you can't put him under. And I want to see it. I think you can do it. I've seen it,
yes.
And this would be great for the podcast. So we need to get you in here so we can show the world hypnotherapy because I'm the biggest skeptic out there, but I've seen you put like 3 people under. And it was amazing to me. So we got to get you in here.
Well, first of all, Brandon, did you lose your breath or count your breaths when I said don't focus on your breathing?
Nah. I think I was repeating what Bird said because he was like, he said something after that, and I was thinking about what he said. I wasn't even thinking about that. Like usually, like
All right, well then he might actually prove himself right.
Yeah.
maybe. Well, see, I actually learned I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I learned one thing about myself is I don't have a picture memory.
Well, that podcast hasn't aired yet, so yeah. Yeah.
It was I can't picture something like when you're at a seminar or a speech and there, close your eyes, picture yourself on a beach or here or there. Like I've never been able to picture something in my head, and I always thought it was kind of dumb, but apparently you can actually picture these like geographic pictures in your head, and I can't do it. So I was like, well, maybe I can't.
Well, that does make you a more difficult hypnosis subject, but you're still hypnotizable. You just can't use, what you just said, focus on, being at a beach, or I want you to imagine you're on a staircase and all that. That stuff doesn't work. You have to do it by sounds. You have to do it by feel. You can't use the visual senses. So you're musically inclined, right? So you're more auditory and feeling and all those things. So I would use those senses to hypnotize you. So you're hypnotizable, but it might take an hour to get you down rather than 2 seconds.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
I'll be drunk and passed out. I'll be down by then.
Look, I saw you do it. The first time I saw you do it was at a little get-together for Thanksgiving a couple of years ago. And I remember a guy there, and he had the same attitude as Brandon. You can't do it to me. He was laughing at everybody else you put under. And then you put him under. And he was just laying in that chair with his eyes closed. And you just spoke to him, and he answered all your questions. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen, man. Like, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of that. I'm skeptical about fortune tellers and psychics and the paranormal, but damn, that shit was like amazing. And Art's got a talent to where he knows how to talk, man. When he does this, he just talks these people right into a cradle, like he's a parent holding a baby, and they just go right to sleep in his arms. And it's like it's amazing. So I got a ball of Fireball bet that he can do it to you.
All right.
You take this bet right now?
I mean, the one I bought you, I'll take it back. Half empty. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing is, I've seen it. Like, I've been at the shows, and I've seen it actually done to, like, groups of people. And, like, so I'm like, all right, it's got to be real. But during the shows, there's always, like, 1 or 2 people at a time that they kind of, like, exit. I'm wondering if I'm one of those few people that they'd ask to exit because maybe it's not working.
You would absolutely be one of those people.
Okay.
I used to do a show on Glenwood Avenue. It was with a burlesque show. I was like part of the halftime entertainment where I would hypnotize 20 women to have an orgasm at the same time.
What?
Did it work?
What?
What I would do is...
Wait, and you're single, why?
So I would, you test people at first, and you pick out the people who are very... enthusiastic, because enthusiastic people in the crowd will do a lot of the things you tell them to anyhow. Out of those enthusiastic people, there are maybe 5 that won't be hypnotizable within a short period of time. Those are the people you tap on the shoulder and you have them sit down. So you, not being a visual person, I would instantly know that and say, okay, you need to, you're doing great, but I'm upset about that. But it's a show. So show hypnosis versus therapeutic hypnosis are 2 different things. Like, I can hypnotize anyone therapeutically as long as they come to me with a problem that they want to take care of. But for a show, you want the actors and actresses to get up there, because what are they looking for? They want to be on stage, they want to have a director, and they want to show off and be an actor and actress. So when I say quack like a duck to these people, they'll do it. They'll go quack, 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 quack. But if I would take you up on stage and get you hypnotized and I said quack like a duck, your eyes would be closed and you'd say, no. So you're the type of person I would never let stay on stage, because we learn the techniques to pick which people will be the best up there.
Huh.
But can we test that, though?
Yeah, because let's test it. Now, question. Now, some of these people...
Test it?
Huh?
I want to test it with you in studio with Brandon, because I think he'll quack.
I'm not gonna do it.
You don't think so? Oh.
See, so I want to know, can you tell, like, visually if someone's faking? Because, I would actually probably be the person, like you said, fear of missing out. I'll be on stage, everyone around me's quacking, so I'm like, well, shoot, maybe I need to quack. Like, quack, quack.
But that's the problem. You want an authentic show. You want people to see real hypnosis.
Yeah.
So if you see somebody faking it, you make them sit down, because that's not part of the show.
Oh, so you can
hypnotize people up there.
So you can tell if they're faking.
Yeah, because they peak.
Oh, cheaters.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Oh.
Cheating like a...
I don't know. You do the one thing with the light switch on the forehead, though. That's just... that was crazy.
When people want to learn to self-hypnotize themselves, they'll let me put that light switch on their forehead where they can turn it off and on their own and learn how to meditate instantly and have this Zen moment and Zen experience anytime they want to. So I give that to them as a gift. So that's the thing. If you let me hypnotize you, you're going to get some amazing... So if there's anything you want better in your life, whether it be your singing, your golf game, anything like that, because because you let me hypnotize you, I'm going to give you the most amazing subconscious that allows you to do that stuff automatically where you don't even have to think about it.
I might have to get you to hypnotize me for my golf game. I mean, I was going to ask you, like, do you help people with smoking and drinking? Like, can you hypnotize people and, like, say, okay, when you come out, you will not be drinking as much as you did before or something along those lines?
Yep, and that's one of, that and weight loss are my bread and butters. So smoking, I've been doing it for almost 9 or 10 years now. I have 100% track record with smoking, and anybody who's ever smoked again, I'm 100% after the second session, and I have a money back guarantee, and I have 0 people who've ever asked for their money back.
You know what that reminds me of is that movie Get Out. Remember when the lady hypnotizes him? I can't remember if he was smoking before and she made him stop or vice versa. But like it was like every time he picked up a cigarette, it made him think like of nasty taste or like something disgusting or something, and like he stopped smoking.
Is that what majority of your patients come to you to get hypnotized for? Smoking, you think, or what's the biggest topic?
I'd say weight loss.
Weight loss.
It's a mixture, but my most famous one is I can hypnotize people to believe they've had a gastric bypass and they lose the same amount of weight without the surgery. So that's what my bread and butter is.
Yeah, that's nuts.
What in the world?
My biggest success was I had a 400-pounder go down to 165 in 4 months.
God damn.
4 months.
Wow. I know what would suck is he goes around telling everyone I had surgery when he actually probably did good.
All right, can you do a live stream? Can you do a live stream in the singles group to all the women that take neck up selfies and hypnotize them all and tell them to take full bodies? No more neck up selfies.
You can do it yourself. Just say, hey, ladies, I hate it when you guys do selfies from the neck down.
Boom.
I hate that. Don't do it in this spread. And guess what you're going to get?
I don't think I've got that power, man. Like you have. You've got a magic.
Don't. You just don't. Don't do it.
I don't do it.
In the first place, when I first got divorced, I had, I took my 1 year off from dating, learning myself and all, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to date. And I was at, what's it called now? Coastal Credit Union Pavilion, or that concert venue, and it was a country concert. 3 beautiful women on a blanket. I was like, okay, I'm ready. And I walked up to them, and I was about to speak, and my throat closed up, and I went, and nothing came out.
Oh.
And I was like, crap, what the hell's wrong with me? And I realized that's what my problem was all my life, was that I couldn't talk to beautiful women. Now, if it was a guy or a friend or, just any random woman or a coworker, I could talk no problem. But when it was somebody I was interested in, I would close up. And what I realized back in the past when I was a kid, anytime I talked to a girl, they're like, ooh, you're hitting on her. And I was like unabashedly shamed from talking to girls I was interested in since I was a little kid because people made fun of me. So my throat would close up every time. So 8 months later, I was at a club and I was like, I told this guy my problem. He's like, oh, I'll fix that in 15 minutes. And I was like, bull crap. I'm a doctor, there's no way you'll fix this. I know about the brain and all that. He's not. Give me 15 minutes. Let me hypnotize you. I was like, that stuff doesn't work because, I'm a Western trained physician. I'm not supposed to believe in this stuff. He goes, what do you have to lose? Just let me try it. 15 minutes later, I was at the top of the Gansevoort rooftop club in New York City talking to every beautiful woman and got a date. And never had a problem since then. So that's
Shallow how.
It worked. And I learned I would get an even better doctor after that by learning it with all the things I know about now. And then I also learned that I could help guys that had the same problem, just being nervous or having this approach anxiety where they couldn't talk to women because they were so nervous and holding their drink up against their chest and all that. So that's one of my other bread and butters too. Guys who are really nervous talking to women, one hypnosis session and it's gone.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have to come in here and do this.
Just don't shallow how me, please.
We are going to get this studio full of people. All right. You got anything going on, man, you want to tell everybody about before we close this show off?
Well, I guess if you're stuck at your house, I do hypnosis by Skype. And I do it through Facebook. If people want to do it, I don't have to be in front of them. I can do it by video.
Oh, wow.
One of my biggest clientele is in England right now because I hypnotized the lead singer of a rock group who had a stutter, so he never did interviews. And he got rid of his stutter, so now all his fans are trying to get me to hypnotize him. So that's my biggest booking right now.
Dang.
Wow. Stuttering, huh? So you can cure stuttering or make it better.
If it comes from a certain reason, yes.
Wow. I know someone that stutters really bad. Like they can hardly formulate sentences without a stutter. And I don't know how this person got as old as he is. Like this seems like something you could cure when you are a child, by going to therapy or something, speech therapy. But do you think you could put that person under and have them speaking regular sentences?
Possibly, and there's no harm in trying. There's money back guaranteed, so no harm in trying.
I feel like it would depend on the situation. Like, I feel like a lot of people stutter when they're nervous or scared or...
No, this person just stutters for an everyday conversation.
Is it Tourette's?
No, they don't curse or anything.
Well, you don't have to curse with Tourette's, but, you're going to like... Yeah.
Oh.
You cut that.
It's a hard time with hypnosis because there's actually a certain brain injury. But stuttering, the way hypnotists look at it is it's where your brain is moving faster than your mouth can move. So then your mouth goes, it starts, getting stuck on the thought that has already passed. So when I do the hypnosis, for most people, when it succeeds, is I slow the brain down. It's like you're pushing on the gas at the same time you're putting on the brakes in the engine. So I have them match up the turn off the brakes and back off on the gas so that the engine works with the gas pedal and the brakes. So you turn off the brakes, let the gas go a little bit slower, and then everything works smoother for the engine.
Cool. Yeah, I think this person might be a little too smart. That's what it is. His brain thinks a lot faster than his mouth.
Yeah.
So
I'm usually like 3 sentences ahead in my head before it comes out of my mouth, and that's why it sounds like retarded, because I'm mixing 3 different sentences in one.
I'm just a mush mouth. That's my excuse.
Mush mouth.
Oh no.
Smash mouth.
Hey Art, hey man, I appreciate you coming on Hammered tonight and talking about coronavirus, giving us your input, your view on everything that's going on in our world. Hey, we're in uncharted waters right now with this, so nobody knows what's going on. Like I said earlier, it feels like we're in a movie, man. Feels like we're in a movie, and here we go. March 2020. This is going to be the year of the coronavirus. So now we can just look forward to 2021 and hopefully it's a lot better than what's going on now. Anyway, Art, thanks for joining us.
Just be positive.
That's right, man. Be positive. Be positive in the groups. This is a good time to make friends.
One more thing. You want to tell everybody how you got the name Hammered?
Oh, that's right. So the ATB podcast is called Hammered, and that was actually Dr. Art's idea. He gave that to me because hammered can mean a lot of things. It can mean you're getting hammered as in drunk. It can mean you're getting hammered as in getting kicked out of ATB, or it can mean you are hammering, is another word for having sex. Yeah. You call but Jesus Christ. I know you don't have a lot of sex, do you, Brandon?
No.
What's going on?
I'm just using hammers.
You don't get hammered a lot, do you?
I use actual hammers all the time.
Or it could mean you're in carpentry, folks. Yes. But yeah, hey, thanks for that idea, Art. It's definitely working out. It's awesome. I even went and got me a hammered mouse pad. See that?
Oh my God.
Legit. Yes. All right, thanks for joining us on Hammered, brother. You take care out there. Everybody, make sure you wash your hands and don't touch your face. How many times you touch your face during the show, Brandon? Probably at least
half of it.
Half of it. I've been watching Art. I don't know if I've seen Art touch his face yet. I think I touched mine at least 3 or 4 times.
I've been leaning on my fist, so.
Oh, he's been touching his face the whole show.
Hands look clean.
That's it.
I wash my hands beforehand. I'm in my safe space now where it's COVID-free.
COVID-free.
So I'm good.
All right, man. All right. Thanks again, brother. And thanks, Brandon, for coming out tonight, doing the show. ATB, everybody listening, y'all take care. And peace. Check the events tab.